packsetgo Traveling Podcast presents Travel Star Tuesdays.
Welcome to our hybrid edition of packsetgo Traveling Podcast brought to you by Lifestyle Brothers. This segment is called Travel Star Tuesdays, where we interview like-minded peers like ourselves that love to travel. It's all about travel, geared toward travel, for travel, about travel, travel by us. So we found somebody that shares our passion. It took us a while to get this guy on the podcast because he's super busy. On this show, we usually supposed to have a button where you press and it do the round of applause. But since my co-capo is lazy, he didn't add the button. We have to do it manual.
So it didn't.
We have to do it manual. Here we go. Sorry about that. It's a little cheesy,
cool.
But hey, we have stuff to do on our to-do list.
This is so cool.
Thank you for having. Thank you for being part of the show, first of all. And I know you're very busy, so let's get right into this traveling thing because your Instagram page is like amazing. You've been to a lot of countries. One of the places that you've been to, we never been, Kenya.
Then you guys been to some places too, so some places that I've never been. But
a couple.
That's the beauty of travel, because see, there's so much more world to see. And I tell people, you could have gone to 80 countries and you're gonna bump into somebody randomly one day and they're going to 120. And you're going to be like, wow. So there's always more to see, more to do. I tell people, don't stop. Don't set your limits low, set them high. Well, before we get deep into it, we're going to start with the basic question.
Okay.
How many countries have you been to? Roughly. No exact number, just off the top of your head. How many countries?
I included the United States and Canada, so 27 so far. So 27 so far, yeah.
That's a good number.
It's pretty impressive.
Thank you. And of course, we were supposed to do a lot more this year, but hey, things happen.
Yeah.
Well, life happens. You got to go whichever way the wind blows. Sometimes it goes east, it goes west. Right now it's stagnant, but we will resume traveling sometime soon.
Right.
Guarantee that. So, Jay, so talk to me now. So you've been to 20 plus countries, which is amazing, which is dope. Now, you said also you included the United States. Now, are you originally from the United States?
Oh, yeah, I'm from the United States. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. Born
ATL, okay.
Southside.
Okay.
And went to Atlanta, and then I moved to LA too for school. Los Angeles, went to Santa Monica College there. So I spent about 4 years, almost 4 years in LA. And then LA to New York, and I've been in New York for about 6-7 years.
Okay. So you've been bi-coastal, dope. You've been north, south, dope. Now let's get to that going across that water. So I see now looking at your page, which let the people know where they can find you at. Are you on Instagram, Facebook? Where can the people find you at, man?
You can find me Javerick Jones. It's just my name, Javerick Jones, Javerick, Jones, Jones. So it's spelled like Maverick, but with the J instead of M.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I was scrolling through your page beforehand when going, informed me, okay, we got a dope new guy to come on to be one of my guests, and I looked at your page, I was blown away. I mean, most importantly, I said, wow, this guy has really traveled. When I say traveled, no insult to our other fans and family who, travels as well, but it's different types of travelers. Some people go to the same destination 15 times, which is amazing, but there's also people who venture out, such as yourself. You've gone to China, Africa, Ghana, different parts of Africa at that, Ghana, Nairobi, which is amazing.
Right.
Now I have to ask, out of all the countries you've gone to, because I always ask these people this question, like what is your number one destination? Like your country you've gone to, which you've taken back so much with you that you left there with? Like, wow, I was blown away, and you hold it close to your heart.
I have like 3 maybe, but you want me to pick one?
No.
There's no format.
Goon, how many said he had?
He had 3.
About 3.
Okay.
Check it out.
I have to go back to.
Start writing this down.
Yeah, go and get your pen ready. Give us 3. No particular order now. Just give us 3. The 3 that you really say, wow.
Egypt is one. And I know you guys mentioned Egypt one before. I've been to Egypt twice already. Something about Egypt is incredible. The history, the people. I've experienced some very interesting things there. Going to Sinai Mountain. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that from the Bible. We spoke to when God spoke to Moses, the burning bush.
The burning bush, yes, sir.
So I went to that mountain. So they always say, "Oh, the mountains in Egypt or the mountains in Saudi Arabia." So I was literally in between the Red Sea. So you could literally look across, you could see Saudi Arabia. And so that's the vicinity that you had. So people always like, no, it's this and that. But so that was incredible. What other Thailand?
Now, when you say Thailand, hold on. When you say Thailand,
Yo, my eyes just
Thailand
lit up.
is a large country. So I always ask people when they say Thailand. You
Yeah.
know, I see Goon salivating because that's his home. But when you say Thailand, now where specifically are you talking about?
Well, Thailand was the very first country that I've ever traveled to internationally. Very first country. I've been 3 times. Chiang Mai. I spend a lot of time in the north.
Nice.
Next time I go back, I'll go to Chiang Rai next time, and other parts of the countryside of the north, and the islands. So the first trip, So the first trip was myself. The second trip was myself, and the third trip I planned with friends, which we could talk about that a little bit later. I know we were talking about my favorite places.
Mm-hmm.
That and we can go back to that, and France, Paris, love Paris. Something about that city is just amazing. It's beautiful. It's beautiful all year round, and I've been at different times. And I think I have another one. What was another one? Oh yeah, Ghana.
Hey, Charlie.
Ghana was really special.
Yeah.
Some of the nicest people. And I got a chance to go to the Cape Coast Castle. And that's one of the reasons why I went to Ghana, because I had to see that. I had to experience that. And when I tell you, brothers, it's something that you can't miss.
The
They
point
get
of no
you
return.
choked up though.
Yeah, it definitely did. You're 100% right.
No, those are 4 great picks. Now I have to throw a curveball at you.
Okay.
Because I'm very intuitive and nosy when I look at people's travel picks. Now we have something common, which I don't bump into many travelers who we have this commonality amongst us.
Right.
You've gone to the Sahara Desert.
Yeah.
Now, Goon and I myself were fortunate. We've been to the Sahara Desert as well, but not too many travelers I run into say, "Wow, I actually went to the Sahara Desert."
I did, and I slept there too.
Round of applause. I'm sorry. Round of applause, brother. I commend you. That's amazing. Now, Can you tell our community about that? Because when I tell people the Sahara Desert, they usually get blown away. Goon shows him an amazing video of him sand surfing in the Sahara Desert. They're blown away. We tell them about the oasis in the middle of nowhere. They're amazed.
I also tell them about it's like 25 degrees at night or in the morning, and they're like, "How? It's a desert."
Yeah,
but I'm not even going. I'll let you tell them that little fact, that snappy fact
too.
Yeah, but some people don't understand that because unless you actually see places to know what's really going on versus what you see on an internet or a picture, it doesn't do it any justice. Not to mention, as you all know, he who writes the story tells the narrative, which isn't always truthful.
Right.
So break it down for us, Jay, please.
So what I did. So this is another friends trip that I planned. So basically I travel by myself a lot. And it's not something that like, oh, I just want to be myself. It's just that I just go. And and people want to join. I always meet people around the world and stuff anyway. So this was a friends trip. And we kind of did the tradition. We kind of created a tradition for the friends trip over the course of the years. And so my good friends, or ladies, one of the girls picked Morocco. She said, I want to go to Morocco. So I did all the planning, and I do crazy shit. Okay. So we did this about 10 days of traveling through Morocco. We started in Tangier.
Wow.
And so the girls flew into, so I always suggest people, it's like when I'm pretty sure you guys can really can relate to this. It's like you're in a computer screen. It's it's unbelievable.
It's surreal.
It's so surreal. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And all you see is sand around. And it's crazy how the guys know where to go. They know where to go
Yeah.
to the tents. They know where to go take you back home. It's crazy. So we started in Tangier. We flew in, started in Tangier, and then I rented a car. Well, I didn't drive. I had the Moroccan people drive. Rented a car for I would say 3-day drive. Yeah, there was our tour guide, our tour guide there. Um, Rented a car for 3 days to drive us through Morocco to Marrakesh. I'm pretty sure that you can find tours like that too. That's why I use like somewhat of a tour. So we started in Tangier, and then before I say about the driver picked us, we drive. So he drives us to Fez. So we go to Fez, and we spent time in Fez. Fez is, I don't know, you guys familiar with Fez, are you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So we went to Fez, and then we go, and then the Medinas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I made sure that we experienced the Medinas. So when you go in when you go in the Medinas, you think you're going to be in there for about 2 hours or something. Oh, we're going to be in it. You end up being in there for 8 hours. It's a maze in there. It's a maze, and you get lost. And that was the plan. And then we went to Chef Shoan. Chef Shoan, which called the Emerald City. Pearl City's
Mm-hmm.
blue. Everything's blue. Very small town.
A lot of good photo ops there, though. A lot of good photo ops.
Yeah, a lot of people always end up there. I'd see on the pictures and stuff too. It's
Yeah.
something not to miss when you're in Morocco. It's called Chef Shoan. If anybody is interested, don't ask me to spell it because it's a lot to spell.
Well, they'll jump in your DMs. They have your Instagram, so they'll hit you in the DM.
Yeah, Chef Shoan. And you could see that if you're familiar with French Montana. French Montana is Moroccan. And he went back to Chef Shoan, which he's not originally from Chef Shoan. He's from Casablanca, I can remember.
Casablanca somewhere, I believe.
Yeah. So he shot his video in Chef Shoan. I can't think of the name of the video, but you'll see it. It was beautiful. And so we went there, and then I'm kind of jumping in between stuff. So I'm missing some things. So I'm trying to think how. So we got a guy to take us to Chef Shoan from Tangier. Bang. Then at Chef Shoan, we got a bus. We got a bus to take us to Fez.
Gotcha.
After Fez, then we had the guy to pick us up and take us all the way to Marrakesh, which took us about 3 days to go through.
Wow.
And a lot of driving.
Did you do that road?
Oh my God! Some of the most
Yeah.
amazing scenery I've ever seen in my life. There are times I got out of the car. You can find a picture where I got out of the car because there was a cattle, sheep, just on this countryside, and I had to get that picture. And so we got the car, drove us through the towns, and then we ended up in the desert and did the camel riding. That was my second time. I did camel riding back in Egypt, which I can tell you about that too. That was a crazy story too. And so it was a lady's first time. A lot of the ladies' first time anyway. So did that. We got to our tents. We should have picked, and let me tell you something. You guys should pick a luxury tent, okay? A luxury tent. Don't be cheap. We should have picked the luxury tent, okay? Because they were looking nice. We picked the tent. We like, oh, okay, whatever. But we get in there. Child, I don't think they wash the sheets. I don't know. It's out in the desert. So we slept in our clothes. But it was an experience. It rained that night, and it was cold.
But when you wake up,
when you wake up, it was such an amazing view. The food was amazing. They did the cooking around the on the sand.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did that, and then then after that we got back to wherever we were staying, and then kept driving. We ended up in Marrakesh.
Nice.
Marrakesh is something else. I don't know. You guys been to Marrakesh, right?
Yes.
We stayed in Marrakesh.
Yeah.
Something else.
We
It's like
drove.
New York
Yeah.
to how they act and
Yeah.
the
Aggressive.
attitude, the aggressiveness, money hungry.
What are you
It's
looking
like
at?
It's a major city. It's a
What are
major
you looking
city.
at? What are you looking at?
huh?
Hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy.
Yeah, and then they were so competitive too. Like
Yeah.
there are other people with like food stalls and stuff, and they're trying to compete with each other, and they all in your face and stuff. After that, I was just tired of Morocco and these people.
There's one thing. There's one thing I regretted. Wish I would have did when I was in Marrakesh. I
Uh-huh.
didn't buy the tea set.
The TSAT. Oh, my
Yeah,
friend
I
girls did
like
that.
I missed buying the tea set because tea set now in America
Yeah.
on eBay of Moroccan tea sets is like $300-$400. When I was there, I could have got it for like $20. Like because it comes in little small little cups and you
Right.
sip it and you put the tea in there because Morocco is very big on tea and spices.
I
And
agree.
I wasn't into tea back then. Now I'm into tea a lot, but I wish I could go back to Marrakesh and just get a nice, authentic Moroccan tea set because it's engraved differently. You know, the way they script their letters, the way the words are, the characters are. It's more
Right.
authentic than me going to get a tea set from like Walmart or Target.
Did you guys drink
You
a
know,
lot of the tea though? The mint tea?
uh, um,
Every day I did.
yeah, he had the mint tea. I
He
wasn't
wasn't
into
too big
tea.
on the tea. He wasn't
Yeah,
into tea. He
I
said,
wasn't.
man,
When
he
I went to
wanted a
Bali,
Fanta. He
when I
said, give
went
me
to
a
Bali,
Fanta.
I learned about tea.
The lemon Fanta?
Lemon Fanta, yeah. No,
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, give me a Fanta.
the orange tea
Fanta.
Fanta.
So
Right.
I'm drinking mint tea. He's drinking a Fanta.
Yeah,
And it always come out hot too, the mint tea. No,
Delicious. Yeah.
it was delicious. You know, they use a pile of sugar though, but it's
Yeah,
but it's
definitely.
but it's great. And at some point, I was asking him, which by the way, guys, don't ask them for ice because they don't have ice. And if I was you, I wouldn't eat the ice over there anyway.
mm.
But I was like, "Oh, can you make this into an iced tea?" They're like,
No,
"What is that?
no such thing. No
What
such
is
thing.
iced tea?" I find myself going to countries and asking them to do things, being because being American, we're so used to a certain way.
Correct.
We're
Correct.
we're spoiled. So if we don't have it our way, we're gonna find it. So
Yeah,
Or at least we're gonna try to find it or make it.
we're gonna try to make it, and they didn't make it. So that didn't work for me. But when I was in Thailand, I asked them to make cheese eggs. They were like, "Cheese eggs? What's cheese eggs?" Like, and they end up making cheese eggs for me and adding it to the menu at my
wow,
hostel.
A lot of places do that though. When you go there and they're like, wait, this is what you guys like to eat? Like, yeah. They'll
Yeah,
add it on knowing that Westerners like it because a lot of Westerners bring the tourism.
right.
Henceforth the money.
They added it on at the hostel that I was staying in. I'm having nostalgia moments right now thinking about Thailand. I miss it a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Let me ask you a question now, Jay Brick. Now, I want the people to know because some people don't understand. They think traveling is so uber expensive, the price of a Chanel bag. Now, how did you find the financial burden for yourself traveling? Let's say you went to Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
From the time you were there, did you just spend $10,000,
In Morocco, no.
$5,000?
I would say as a total, less than that.
Okay, because see, some people get scared of travel because they're like, wow, I can't afford it. I'm going to spend so much money. My American Express card doesn't work like that. My checking and savings is set up differently.
Well, the American Express definitely not going to work in Morocco. I tried, but it worked in bigger hotels and stuff. But it's not as expensive as people think. You just have to put the money to the side for it. Put a little bit here. And however long it takes you to save up for it, and you have an end goal, just do it. I think most of the time, I think people should focus on the flight first, because you get the flight out of the way, it motivates you to plan the rest of the trip, and you get a cheaper ticket if you book months in advance. And I like to use Google Flights. I don't know, you guys familiar with that, or your fans familiar with Google Flights? I use Google Flights a lot because they definitely gonna give you the cheapest, and you can book directly majority of the time with the airline, which I suggest you do. Because if you're traveling abroad like that and you're doing third parties, not a good idea, because shit happens. They cancel it, and then it's a whole big mess. So it's always good to fly with the airline, so they could put you on partnering airlines if anything to happen. A lot of people don't know that either.
That's a
So
good tip.
if an airline can't seat you on a particular flight because something happened, canceled, they could put you on a partner. And if you have a third party ticket, not so much.
No, the family's listening to you. Like I said, you're part of the
very,
family.
Very good tip.
So a lot of our families home with their pen and pad right now, writing down these tips, because knowledge is free. And I'll tell everybody, you have a tip, a trick, share it, share the knowledge.
So
book directly through the airlines. And don't use so much Expedia, Orbitz, Travelocity.
No.
Okay.
I've heard horror stories. Luckily, I haven't. Internationally, I haven't had any. I try not to. I booked my first trip to Thailand. I did. Luckily, it all ended up being really well, because I booked through Google and didn't know I was booking through the Venmo or whatever the hell you call it, or whatever, for example, and it ended up going to Cathay Pacific, because I flew Cathay Pacific, went to Hong Kong, got to experience Hong Kong as well. So if you book through the airline, best bet, and then you can also make changes if you need.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a thrifty traveler, and you sound thrifty like me. You mentioned hostel.
Yes.
Staying in hostels, staying where hot water is optional. We don't need all the bells and whistles, because usually our bags are the ones that get to stay in the hotel for the whole 7 days or 6 days. Us as travelers, we want to see, explore. So we don't really need the window or the bed sheets changed every day, or the fresh towels, or the continental breakfast, because we're usually gone before breakfast is even served when we're taking these tours and these trips.
Right.
My co-capo over there, he must have breakfast as part of the hotel. If it's not, that's not even on the list. Breakfast must be included with the hotel stay. Number 2, windows and hot waters is a must for this guy.
Okay.
To me, I don't need a window, because I'm not looking at nothing. Just give me one charger, a light. It could be in the bathroom, hallway, closet, or in the bedroom. One sheet, one pillow, and one room key, and I'm happy. That money I'm saving could go towards getting that tea set that I missed in Marrakesh. So I like to save money. So you mentioned hostel. Can you just mention that a little bit for me, please, for our listeners that want to go my route? That's I don't want to say less Hollywood, but just
the economic route.
Route. You guys are totally two different travelers. Can tell from what you're saying. I'm actually both of you guys, depending on the country.
Yes, there you go.
I now refuse to be in a hostel. I'm not doing a hostel anymore. I've gotten to a point where
level up.
I experienced a hostel several times. I've had very interesting experiences in hostels, not myself, but other people that just kind of prevent me from doing that anymore. I feel like I'm too old for the shit now. I'm just too old. And plus, sometimes, majority of the time, I just like my damn privacy, And if you want to have fun, how you gonna have fun in a hostel? Other people want to have fun in hostels. I'm not that person. Okay,
privacy is a premium.
Yeah, privacy. So I also budget, and I also like nice things. So it like I said, it depends on the country. My last straw. Well, I did do a hostel in Peru, in Cusco, because I was heading to trek. I was trekking any damn way. I was doing the Machu Picchu trek for that 3.5 days.
We did that.
Which, by the way, amazing. But
we took the train. We walked out.
We cheated. And the train, he paid extra for the luxury cabin of the train that served you food. I didn't want the food package on that train, but he paid
for it anyway.
Yeah,
he paid for it anyway. I have to ask you guys how you guys balance it out, because it seemed like one one person's at the first class, one of them in the back.
That's how I usually fly. Usually I'm
That's how
flying,
we usually
honestly.
fly.
Usually I'm flying in like 63K,
Uh-huh.
the last seat on the right side of the plane, so I can lean this way. He's usually
Okay.
in two options. He has the emergency exit, puppy dog face. I didn't know I had to book an extra leg room. Or he gets bumped to first class. He gets to bump to first class. So he has two options.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
we never fly together. We fly together on the same plane, but he
Yeah.
lands before me. But
I'm too damn cheap sometimes to be doing first class. First of all, because I'm like my money good, but ain't that good yet.
exactly.
but I know damn well if I had millions of dollars, I probably would be flying first class a lot. I would.
Get your own plane.
Just me. But I'm all for the budget. As long as it get me there, I'm comfortable. I've sat through 15-hour flights several times. This flight's been 18 hours.
Yeah, that's nothing. I'm used to that now.
You used to it. Hell, I'd rather be on a 15-hour flight now. The way shit going.
We agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm when it comes to the flights, I try to look for the best, the cheapest, and also you got to look at the airline. Okay, make sure you got the best airline because not all the airlines are great. All right.
Yeah.
I can also share some of the best experiences in airlines that I've had, like Emirates, Cathay Pacific, which takes you to Hong Kong. Emirates takes you to Dubai. Qatar Airways takes you to Qatar. I've flown with them, which has been amazing. Lufthansa, that takes you to Germany. That's their airline. I flew with them to Egypt, so I flew to Germany and then Germany to Cairo, and so forth. So I try to find the affordable flights. If you don't mind spending that little bit of more money, then that's fine. Go ahead. That's your prerogative. But depends on the country you're in. You might want to upgrade.
Well, speaking of upgrades, Jay Rick, we want to upgrade our viewers, our family, and our friends.
Yeah.
So we want everybody to have any other questions about these beautiful countries that he's going to. Make sure you check him out on Instagram. You can see some amazing, mind-blowing pictures. Yeah. Also, if you have any questions about the countries that he's going to, because just like us, he stays in contact with a lot of the locals there. So if you're going to go out, he may have a local driver for you, a local tour guide to pick you up from the airport and take you around. And, be sure to reach out to him, hit him in a DM if you have any questions, comments, or concerns.
I use TripAdvisor as well, too. TripAdvisor is really good. It gives me a lot of tips, a lot of on places, on things that you're not familiar with in that particular country. You can do TripAdvisor, and then you do your research.
Perfect.
Cool.
It's a bunch of other questions I want to get into you, especially to our audience. Certain personal questions in regards to how does it feel like being a black man traveling abroad? Because a lot of men, they say I only go to certain countries so I feel safe. And I'm like, I've never had an issue traveling abroad. But we're going to get into that for our next segment with you sometime in the future.
Topic. I'm writing that one down.
As if you run into black people half the time. You don't.
Correct. And that's what I tell people. I'm going to countries where Goon and I were the only people that look like us. But we had no issues. Love, warmth, come over to my house for dinner if you like, guys. So we'll get into that another time. But big round of applause, everybody. This is an amazing interview. Big shout out to our fans for tuning in. Jerry is part of the family and community, so anytime in the future, if you can't find it, we will find them for you guys. Be sure to check us out. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, The Lifestyle Brothers. And also www.thelifestylebrothers.com. And again, people, stay safe, fly, fly, fly.